Moving on in our next story, the generational divide between baby boomers and Generation Z continues to spark public debate and sometimes a little confrontation here and there. A new viral video circulating online shows how sharply these worlds can often collide. Now, in the trending clip, a young man, presumed to be a Gen Z, is seen openly challenging an older man during a ride on public transport. Now, the argument reportedly began when the older passenger made comments about two women who had just been dropped near a hotel. He said that the young man said that he found these comments outdated and inappropriate. Take a look at this little clip.
People got out from the vehicle and you are saying that they don't know where they are going to a hotel. And if they are going to a hotel, and so how does that concern you? How does that concern you? Because you are sounding timid for somebody of your age. It is so disappointing. It is. People like you cannot even stand in front of your children to advise them. You are only good outside, talking outside. Go to hell, please, and burn to ashes.
Make sure you know where I'm going.
Go to hell and burn to ashes.
Today, this time around, nobody knows that. When you move from your parents, you know where I'm going.
You're always saying they are going to a hotel. People like you do not believe women can work and earn for themselves. People like you, your female daughters will be going haywire. You cannot stand and...
It's very important for me to take because in the comment section you could see a back and forth between the younger generation and some people of the older generation. But I will say that these clashes in culture don't just come for the sake of argument. Both generations grew up in very different cultural climes, and I think often it's hard to find common ground or to bridge the gap. But there are better ways of communicating. I mean, to tell an older man, go to hell or burn to ashes, I couldn't try that in my father's house. Let's take a look at social media. McKinsey says, to the people saying he was disrespectful, okay, but me, I sure do not like the idea of keeping quiet and not calling out elder people when they mess up just because they are older. I've learned that age is not sense. I take it you're a Gen Z. Let's take another tweet. Emelobe says, it is wrong for people to think that anyone going into a hotel is going there to see the opposite sex. It is very wrong of that man to make such assumptions. If his kids are wayward, he should not assume that every other person is wayward. This was more than just a comment by that old man, though, if you ask me. These stereotypes we have about young women in our society have a way of being harmful to the rhetoric and the narrative surrounding them. You know what I mean? These girls could have been going there to do anything. But in our final story, I don't know if I can call this entertainment news, but concerns are mounting over the whereabouts of Nigerian music legend King Sunny Ade, as his daughter, Damilola Esther Adeniyi Adegeye, claims that the 78-year-old icon has been unreachable for weeks. Now, in an emotional social media post, she pointed fingers at KSA's manager and stepbrother, Dayo Adegeye, accusing him of moving the juju music pioneer from one hotel to another while isolating him from his family. Sources close to the family are also alleging that King Sunny Ade is being forced to continue performing despite his declining health and recent personal tragedies, including the death of one of his daughters. His daughter also accused the manager's camp of drugging King Sunny Ade with sleeping pills to control his behavior and exploiting him financially and denying him access to his own home and office. I will say that King Sunny Ade is not an invalid. He is 78 years old. I wouldn't say he's completely or even senile at all. But the family does have a right to petition a court and ask for legal guardianship if they do feel that he is unsafe in order to protect his welfare, his finances, his assets, and his freedom. But before I take some tweets, I don't have any tweets. I'd like you guys to please, you can give me some tweets. I'd like you guys to please chime in with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise that we are listening. As you can see, there's a shortage of tweets. So please, guys, chime in. Moving on, team, some very interesting stories here. We've got a Gen Z battling an older person. We've got a Gen Z daughter. I don't know if she's Gen Z, but a younger daughter also coming out to challenge King Sunny Ade's managers. The younger generation is very vocal, I will say.
Yes, for the baby boomers, Gen Z stuff, one of the signs of being a mature person is controlling your tongue. You don't just talk anyhow, especially when you're in public. I know saying that, yeah, they don't have anything to do, that's why they're going to a hotel. I think that was not a good comment for the man. And I want to say thumbs up to the young man that confronted him and called him out. You know, it's not just anything that you blame Gen Z baby boomers. I really don't know the difference between Gen Z and baby
Gen Z,
boomers.
I hope you're here and see a baby boomer standing up for us.
All right. and so on. For Sunny Ade's story, I am worried. If it is a member of his family that's coming out to say, look, we can't find our dad, he's 78. I know he's not senile. I know he's still very okay. And for them to come out and say, we are looking for him, maybe we should look seriously.
All right, I'll begin with the story of the Gen Z, you know, calling out the baby boomer, the man in the bus, saying that those ladies were going to the hotel for one thing or the other. I think that matters of approach is important when you are talking to anyone. How you approach anything and drive home your point is key. As much as he wanted to call out the man, there are words that he used that I felt that he could have done without in the process. I know you're vocal, I know you want to do whatever, call people out because they were demeaning and what the man said was wrong, but then you can still be respectful while you are calling out people. That's my concern in that video. He wasn't respectful in his approach. He was angry, yes. He was saying whatever it was. But then how he approached the man could have been better. And then for King Sunny Ade and the daughter asking where the whereabouts of her father is and all of that, dragging members of their family on social media, I think that she should also look at how to approach this matter with wisdom. Because if anything happens to the man, they can come back to point accusing fingers at her. And it also begs the question as regards how they have been managing the relationship with their father and other members of the family. If anything happened to KSA, King Sunny Ade, they will come for her, and she wouldn't want that. So it's important she addresses this matter with wisdom once again and get to the root of the matter without coming to social media. Get to the root of the issue. Then you can later come to social media when you have evidence of all the things you're saying.
Okay, and Olamide, here is my tweet. Ria_Abdul. This is what I am saying. But, you know, I agree with Veronica. The young guy, we are Gen Z, so we know ourselves. He was doing the right thing, but he went overboard. Now, they say, even an elderly person, you need to know how you speak sometimes. I don't think you should use your age, you know, as a yardstick for you to just say anything and you think it will go by because you're elderly. What he said was totally wrong. People go to hotels to swim, to eat. There are so many things. It's not every time you see a girl in a hotel, you think that she's going to meet a man. There are so many things someone can do in the hotel. For my young Gen Z guy, you did a good job, but next time, don't be so angry that you say words that, you know, are insulting to an elderly person. That I do not agree with. But also to the King Sunny Ade story, I think I used to hear his music a lot in Ghana. He's actually a veteran in Nigeria. I pray that the allegations are not true. And also, I think not everything should be brought to social media. Some of those things you can just settle amicably.
Yes, I think the family of Sunny Ade should rise to the occasion and be sure that the old man is fine, is sane, and then is being taken care of. Not that he's been exploited, to his own disadvantage. So proper investigation has to go there. I wouldn't blame the lady for crying out loud. I mean, for making a noise about it, because it knows that Sunny Ade has a whole lot of families who had met him, some who had not met him. I'm talking about his fans. So people should rise to the occasion and see what they can do to help the old man, if indeed he is in trouble. So the thin line between Gen Z, the elderly, and all of that, there are some people that they are very old. We believe that they are sage. We believe that when you have gray hair, certain characters are expected of you. But if you do not do it right, it does not behove a younger generation to look straight into the man's eye and insult the man or make the man look like, yes, I'm your age, I can talk to you anyhow. Even if it's your age. I think one person said, Veronica, even if you're talking to your age mate, the courtesy demand, certain respect. There's a way you can address this without having to shout, because when two people are shouting, both of you are crazy. So because you won't make any point. The other person will be looking at, okay, let my own voice go higher, mine will go higher.
And the thing I see is that you can tell that the boy was really angry, but
he
then
was
again,
angry. Yeah, so
there's
a way he could have schooled the man. And operational 10, schooled the man, by talking to the man gently. Not everyone, goes to the hotel to do any shady thing. But even though we know that sometimes, Veronica, sometimes when we are going out,
you know what?
And then, when you're going out and then you see certain people, the way they dress coming out from certain building, you want to close your eyes, but you know that in front of you, there is a sea. You don't want to.
I know what he's talking about.
There's a sea, so you have to just stay focused.
But Ibrahim, I tell you cannot judge people by their appearance and how they come out.
Let's not stereotype women.
I'm not stereotyping. I'm not stereotyping. I'm just saying that you are stereotyping your own eyes. Like, okay, the Bible says if it's that eye that will make you go into hellfire, why don't you pluck it out? Okay. So just stay focused. So the old man should have probably stay focused
it's obvious the man is a traditional man,
exactly.
And where stereotyping has been a matter in our patriarchal society. It's important that we address this matter of stereotyping persons, especially young ladies and women who have had to face this matter for years. It was really wrong of that man to assume,
if they see two men going into the hotel,
to assume that these persons were going into the hotel for whatever it is he was thinking in his mind. People go there for other reasons. There are those who work as cleaners. There are those who work as cooks. There are those who are employed.
So it's important. If I can chime in here, I just want to say that these stereotypes are very, very dangerous. I mean, over time, we've spoken about older landlords denying access of young female tenants, places to live, and access to equal resources simply because of how they view them. So these rhetorics and these narratives go past just this is how I see you and viewpoints. They can be harmful and they can affect the quality of lives of younger women.
Yeah, and I think the female gender too can do better. Avoid things that will make people
in what way?
I'm trying to explain. So avoid things that will make people look at you. We know the kind of environment
you can't help people's minds.
So I'm giving my own honest advice.
No,
I'm not
I don't agree.
An elder wants to speak.
Let's let the elder speak, but I don't agree with that.
It was a Freudian slip.
The way you dress most times is the way you are dressed. It is a maxim. It's a fact.
Okay.
But the issue here was not their dressing, but where they were dropped off.
Let's let the elder respect.
Let the elder talk. Let the elder talk.
Respect.
Allow him now.
The issue here was not their dressing, rather, but the fact that they had been dropped in front of a hotel. Those are two completely different metrics.
But if you allow me, some people
hang on, let the elder speak, please.
Sorry.
One of the advantages of being elderly is that people take it for granted that you're wise. So when you open your mouth, you better say something sensible. If not, somebody you didn't expect will do what that young boy did to that man.
Period.
I am so disappointed that the gentleman in a public bus could say stuff like that. That's why my first reaction was that, yeah, he got what he bargained for. But then, yes, the manner of approach and that the young man used was wrong. If he had done it the other way, he would have even made the old man feel small.
Yeah,
that's right.
You play silly games.
We'll leave the conversation there because an elder has spoken.
Okay,
and so it's fine now. Thank you, Olamide, for those stories. This is where we have to draw the curtains on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the Ladies, and afterwards is This Morning with Yori Folarin. Do stay safe. Bye.